Good day and welcome to the Public Company CEO Experience featuring three-time CEO Evan Gappelberg, a comprehensive program designed to educate and inform the investment community around AI-powered 3D modeling and the vast potential this technology holds going forward. Additionally, we will also provide updates and progress reports on recent news and developments at NEXCF3D.ai, which trades on the CSE under the ticker NTAR, OTCQX, symbol NEXCF, and Frankfurt, symbol EP2, as well as ARway, which also trades on the CSE under the ticker ARWY, over-the-counter symbol ARWYF, and Frankfurt E65, and Toggle 3D, which trades on the CSE under the ticker TGGL. I'm your host, Todd Santarelli, and I'm very pleased to welcome you to our first episode, where Evan and I will provide an introduction to 3D modeling, as well as an overview of NEXCF 3D, ARway, and Toggle 3D. Evan Gappelberg is an accomplished entrepreneur with extensive experience in creating, funding, and running pioneering startups. He has global business experience, both as a hands-on CEO and as a public company CEO. He currently serves as the CEO of NEXCF 3D, ARway, and Toggle 3D. Evan attained his capital market expertise in the 1990s while working on Wall Street, funding IPOs. Notably, he was instrumental in funding Take-Two Interactive, which has a market cap of approximately $20 billion US today and trades on the NASDAQ under the ticker TTWO. He started as an entrepreneur while on Wall Street, where he was co-founder and CEO of EG Products, which he self-funded. While CEO, he went to China to set up manufacturing for the first LED light-up toy, which he patented, imported, and distributed globally. He secured licensing deals from Disney, Universal Studios, and others while building a retail national sales channel. He was also co-founder and CEO of an app development company, which created and published over 200 successful apps in both iTunes and Google Play stores. Evan's favorite quote is by Napoleon Hill: "Whatever you can conceive and whatever you can believe, you can achieve." Joining me now is Evan Gappelberg. Good morning, Evan, and thanks for the opportunity to host this series. I'm looking forward to learning more about how your portfolio companies leverage AI, 3D modeling, and augmented reality, and the potential these technologies and companies hold for investors.
Thanks, Todd. I'm excited to be here and really have this opportunity to share the behind the scenes kind of look at what's happening for me as CEO of these exciting new technology companies that we own and operate.
All right, well, let's dive in here. We've touched on your background as a serial entrepreneur and finance executive in the introduction. So perhaps you could begin with a brief overview of your current projects and present portfolio companies.
Sure. So today we own and operate NEXCF AR, or NEXCF actually 3D.ai. We just rebranded. And basically we create 3D models for Amazon and other e-commerce sites, but Amazon is clearly the biggest. That is the business of NEXCF 3D.ai. And the key piece to that business is the AI. The AI is the agent of change. It's really allowing us to scale our production of 3D models without hiring more headcount. And we really just had a breakthrough with our generative AI in 2023. Although we've invested in generative AI for years now. In fact, back in the summer of 2021, we invested $10 million in AI by acquiring a company named 3D.ai. And that was a transformative acquisition that brought with it an ex-Apple computer vision guy who's now my CTO and kernel of the AI that we've now turned into something quite special and something that's allowing us to scale and really become the dominant 3D model supplier for the $5.5 trillion e-com ecosystem. In fact, Todd, I just read recently that by 2040, Are you sitting down? By 2040, Todd, 95% of all retail will be online.
Yeah, that is an astonishing number. So let's focus in on NEXCF 3D for a moment. What more can you tell us about the model, core technologies, and total addressable markets?
Yeah, so NEXCF3D.ai has made 10 acquisitions in the last 5 years, and some of them have been quite transformative. Some of the businesses that we acquired weren't really actually businesses, they were more technologies. And what we've done is incubated them and developed those technologies into commercial products. And then we have spun them out as their own public companies. So NEXCF spun out ARway.ai as its own public company, which is a spatial computing platform. You know, to think of it as being able to turn your space that you live in into a spatial computer. That's basically it, where you're living inside a computer. And that's going to become the new normal, especially with Apple's glasses that are due to come out this summer, 2023, that the Apple computer vision glasses are going to be looking for things to interact with. And our ARway platform is basically an operating system in a lot of ways for Apple's glasses. And we're integrating with HoloLens, which is Microsoft's, and Magic Leap. So ARway was one of our spinouts. NEXCF still owns 50% of the shares. And Todd, what's exciting is we're doing a second spinout in June of Toggle3D.ai, which is another software platform that is purpose-built to convert CAD files into lightweight web-based poly files, so that you can take these heavyweight CAD files that all manufacturers use, put it into the Toggle 3D platform, and it converts it instantly using AI into these lightweight, it shrinks the file size down by like 95%. So you could publish them on the web. It's very, very potent, and it's going to compete head to head really with Adobe. So NEXCF really has a portfolio of AI technologies, and we've taken that portfolio, turned them into spin out public companies. And at the same time, we own and operate our own company, and that's the company that's supplying 3D models to Amazon.
As we look at a high level at these businesses, I mean, clearly you are playing in immense markets here. Do you feel you have the infrastructure in place to handle all this additional growth and demand?
So it's an interesting question. The short answer is yes. We've been at this for 5 years. So you could say, we're battle tested, battle hardened, and so my background's Wall Street and corporate finance. So I do have lots of relationships. We do have access to capital. And so we are really, really focused and have become experts in the fields that we operate in. This is pioneering work that we're doing. So there really is nobody smarter or better in the room today than we are. And so we're really blazing a path. And, at some point, a bigger company might come along and make us an offer we can't refuse. But as of today, these businesses are in the early days. If you look at NEXCF, for instance, we supply 3D models to Amazon. We view the 3D modeling business within the $5.5 trillion global e-com ecosystem. The 3D modeling business TAM is about $100 billion. Our market cap is like 50 million today. So if you look at that, there's clearly lots and lots of room to grow. And we're really, really just at the very, very beginning. The same thing goes for, ARway and Toggle 3D. It's, just the very, very beginning. We're just in the first chapter of these transformative technologies really taking over our lives. But as I mentioned earlier, over the next decade or two, these are going to become the standard technologies that everybody uses, and our technology companies could increase in value quite dramatically.
So, Evan, why spin out these other entities? Doesn't that cannibalize the business and decrease the value of NEXCF 3D?
That's a great question. I get asked that a lot by investors. And the easiest way to understand the value of spinning things out is, look, you can own 100% of a business and struggle to make it work because, running three different businesses that are all pioneering, that are all transformative as one company, as startup, as all three startups at once. Think about that. I mean, imagine Microsoft, Intel, and Apple Computer all being one company trying to, change the world, which they did, right? So it's virtually impossible to do everything under one company umbrella. So what we've done is we've turned these companies into pure plays where there's dedicated teams, dedicated capital, right? So we're not diluting one company. If one company is doing well and the other company's not, we're not diluting the one company that's doing well to pay for, the two that aren't. It turns out all of our companies are doing well, but it doesn't always work that way. So spinning out these companies allow us to have a purpose-built team of entrepreneurs working on these companies and only on these companies. It's not the same customer. So, that would pose another challenge if it was all under one umbrella. And then lastly, so there's lots of, layers to it, Todd. There's lots and lots of variables when it comes to, doing a startup, running a startup company. And the last piece is ownership. We're retaining a 50% ownership stake. We're retaining control. We still control these spinouts. So we get all the control, we get 50% of the upside, and we get zero of the downside, meaning, the downside being the distraction of having three companies being run under one umbrella, and as well as the potential dilution to shareholders if one company is doing well and the other ones aren't quite doing as well. So there's tons of benefits to the spin out. And as the single largest shareholder of all these companies, but primarily of NEXCF, the parent company, I'm always doing what's best for shareholders. Again, I'm the single largest shareholder.
So let's change gears now and talk about the two spinouts. Perhaps you can educate our audience a bit more in terms of the core business and present operations at ARway.
Yeah. So ARway, as I mentioned, is a spatial computing platform, but I don't know if anyone really knows what that means. So it's easier to really think of it as an augmented reality experience platform where it can turn the space that you're in into an augmented reality experience. Wayfinding is a big part of that experience. So, we all know that Google dominates wayfinding outdoors and they use GPS to accomplish that goal. But Google fails miserably. And so does Apple, they all fail miserably indoors. There is no indoor navigation system that works well until ARway. So ARway really offers indoor navigation, and the magic is there's no code, no beacon, meaning no OpEx, no CapEx. You don't have to invest in hardware. You don't have to invest in maintenance of that hardware. We literally use software and some proprietary AI algorithms that turn your space into a spatially aware space, an indoor space that can be navigated using ARway's augmented reality platform. So it is quite exciting. It doesn't end with just navigation. Navigation is kind of the first piece of it, and then it goes into audio. So you could be walking along a navigation path indoors, and then you get into close proximity to a store, and you can hear an audio cue all of a sudden come in through your headphones. Videos could be floating in the air as you're walking by Starbucks. There could be a video of a new latte that they're offering or a new frappuccino, and they offer you, a special discount if you go in based on that ad that you're seeing that's, again, floating in air and only available if you're on the ARway platform. So it's kind of like Waze in a lot of ways, like the Waze always is offering you specials. And that's kind of what this is, except this is monetizing the airspace indoors as opposed to Waze, which is, obviously in your car outdoors.
And what about Toggle 3D? Bring us up to speed there.
Toggle is a platform that's basically a SaaS platform. It's a 3D design studio on the web that converts your CAD files into these lightweight polygon files that can live on the web. And so the magic though with Toggle is you don't need to be a graphic designer. You don't need any technical experience. Anybody can use it. It's point and click technology. And that is game changing. If you try to do what Toggle does on the Adobe platform, you'll spend 6 months on a steep learning curve to try and get that platform to work for you. With Toggle 3D, you go in and you start creating 3D magic instantly.
Well, as we all know, it's impossible to follow or participate in the financial markets today without being hit with all kinds of news and data around AI and the potential applications, efficiencies, etc. What can you tell us about some of the key drivers and major trends affecting your industries, and how these three companies are now favorably positioned to capitalize in that regard?
So the whole world is pivoting towards 3D, Todd. It is. It's happening. And all of our tech is geared towards 3D. Toggle 3D is a 3D design studio that uses generative AI. ARway is a 3D spatial computer that turns the space indoors into a computer experience using AI. NEXCF creates 3D models for Amazon and other e-commerce sites using AI. So we're leveraging the power of generative AI across all three of these businesses, all three of these platforms. And that is, creating this moat around our business and really giving us this very rare, once in a lifetime opportunity to be the leaders in multi-billion-dollar, multi-decade megatrend. And it's just very, very timely and very exciting that we've landed here, after 5 years of really hard work. And it's just a testament to our team and our ability to navigate through the pandemic and this interest rate hike and the economy that, that has not been an easy road, Todd, to travel on. But all three companies are perfectly positioned for success.
So what is it then that is so unique about these businesses? What is it that now defines and differentiates NEXCF 3D, ARway, and Toggle 3D from others in the industry?
So if I had to put my finger on it, aside from the technology, it's the team. At the end of the day, it's the people that make all of this work. My background, again, is very, very important because I'm able to raise capital for these companies, which I'm able to do essentially single-handedly because of my capital markets experience. That plays a big role. Also a hands-on CEO where I get into the trenches with the troops. And, I've done many, many, many enterprise deals, dealt with many Fortune 500 companies. And so my experience and my team's experience really is the game changer. And the fact is, Todd, is that I love what I do. I don't wake up every day saying, oh, another day of work. I actually get up early. I'm excited. and I go to sleep late, and I'm excited because of what we're doing. And so I think it's those intangible things, in addition to the technology being state of the art, it's the intangibles of the passion and the drive and the experience of our team that really makes this really special companies.
Well, I'm sure most of our listeners would agree that leadership is key to the success of any startup or established business. Let's address the short-term vision for these companies. Where do you see these companies 2 to 3 years out?
So NEXCF, the vision there, as I've mentioned, is to be the dominant 3D model supplier for Amazon, for Target, for Walmart, for all the big box stores, and scaling our production of 3D models almost to an infinite level. And so that is a goal, and at the same time increasing our public market awareness, potentially uplisting to a major exchange, and getting institutional sponsorship into our stock, which would drive the value to where it belongs. Today, as I mentioned, the opportunity's $100 billion, our market cap's 50 million. To me, that's out of whack, considering, we're the alpha dog in this 3D modeling space. So that's, NEXCF. And then if you look at ARway, that's really an early stage company. And I think that when Apple comes out with their glasses, there's going to be a major rush to ARway and what it offers, because everybody's going to want to wear these computer vision glasses. And when you put them on, augmented reality wayfinding indoors is going to become a very big deal. And we have the only solution on the market. So I see that ARway is going to become a very standard experience for people. In my vision of the next 3 years, you'll use ARway just like you look up the weather on your iPhone or Samsung phone. You'll walk into a building and you'll automatically have an augmented reality indoor experience powered by ARway. And then pivoting to Toggle 3D, Toggle is going to be a very, very useful tool as the world pivots from 2D to 3D. They really need a Toggle 3D platform to convert these CAD files. And, if you think about CAD files, there's millions of them that sit dormant on these, like heavyweight computers. And Toggle unleashes all that dormancy, all that power gets unleashed through Toggle, where you could take those CAD files, publish them on the web. At the same time, you can change the texture and do rapid prototyping. There's just, it becomes a photography studio. Toggle really can be extremely valuable platform for this mega trend, that 2D to 3D conversion. And so, it becomes that design studio that everybody uses, just like everybody uses Adobe's Illustrator or Canva. Everybody's going to be using Toggle3D.ai over the next few years.
Well, I think that was a very good recap around the high points of what we've covered today. Anything else you would like to add as we close out episode 1?
I would just, say to our listeners that oftentimes these are the times where you can pick up some real bargains in these companies, in these stocks, because they're misunderstood, mispriced. The stocks are not being valued based upon fundamentals, because the fundamentals haven't shown up yet. The stocks are being valued based upon whichever way the wind blows. If somebody is buying a block or selling a block, the value could go up or down quite dramatically. So if you are a believer in the future being 3D, and obviously I'm all in, the CTO of Amazon is all in on 3D, and the CEO of Shopify is all in on 3D. So if you believe all of us, then now is the time to scoop up some cheap shares before the revenue shows up, before the institutions start to pile in.
Well, certainly AI, 3D modeling, augmented reality, these technologies, as we all know, are top of mind for investors internationally. So I think our episode today was a very good overview and an introduction to our series. And I certainly look forward to hosting the balance of this series and the drill down as we look at all of the companies, all of the technologies, the potential moving forward. And thanks again for the opportunity to host. It's always a pleasure speaking with you.
Thank you, Todd.
Don't miss our next episode, The Public Company CEO Experience, featuring 3-time CEO Evan Gappelberg, is available on our website, as well as your favorite podcast platform. And follow us on social for alerts and updates as new episodes go live. Thank you for joining us today. We look forward to welcoming you back on our next episode.